NIV English aka say dinga hin lhagao NIV yong cha tha pai lawa lhagao dinga hin. Proverbs chapter 1 apana ina say diu he slide so. Anapanate. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for attaining wisdom and discipline, for understanding words of insight, for acquiring discipline and prudent life, doing what is right and just and fair, for giving prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen, let the learning, let the discerning get guidance, for understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake mother's teaching. They will be garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not give in to them. If they say, come along with us, let's lie in wait for someone's blood. Let's waylay some harmless soul. Let's swallow them up alive like the grave, whole like those who go down the pit. We'll get all sorts of valuable things and we'll fill our houses plundered. Throw in your lot with us when you'll see our common purse. My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their path, for their feet rush into sin and they are swift to shed blood. How useless to spread the net in full view of the birds. This men lie in wait for their own blood. They wail only themselves. Such is the end of all after golden gain. It takes away the lives of those who get it. Wisdom calls aloud in the streets. She raises her voice in the public square. At the head of the noisy streets, she cries out. In the gateways of the city, she makes a speech. How long will you simple ones love a simple ways? How long will you mockers delight in mockery and fools hate knowledge? If you had responded to my rebuke, I would have poured out my heart and made my thoughts known to you. But since you rejected me when I called and no one gave heed, when I stretched out my hand, since you ignore my advice and will not accept my rebuke, I in turn will laugh at your disaster. I'll mock when calamity overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster sweeps over you like a wild wind, when distress and trouble overwhelm you. Then they'll call to me, but I'll not answer. They'll look for me, but will not find me, since they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord, since they will not accept my advice and spurn my rebuke. They will eat the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their schemes. For the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. My son, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying heart to understanding, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom, and from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He holds victory in store for the upright. He is a shield to those whose walk is blameless. He guards the course of the just and protects the ways of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right and just and fair, every good part. For wisdom will enter your heart and knowledge will please to your soul. Discretion will protect you and understanding will guard you. Wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men, from men whose words are perverse, who leave the straight path to walk in dark ways, who delight in doing wrongs and rejoice in the perverseness of evil, whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways. It will also save you from the adulteress, from the wayward wife with her seductive words, who has left the path of her youth and ignored the covenant she made before God. For her house leads down to death and her path to the spirits of the dead. None who go to her return or attain the paths of life. Thus you will walk in the way of good men and keep to the path of the righteous. For the upright will live in the land and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land and the unfaithful torn from it. My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart. Do not keep my commands in, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Honor the Lord with the wealth, with the first fruit of your crops. Then your barns will fill to overflowing, your vats to brim over with new wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves, as a father the son he delights in. Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding. For she is more profitable than silver and years better returns than gold. She is more precious than rubies and nothing desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand and her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways and our paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Those who lay hold of her will be blessed. By wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundation, by understanding he has set the heavens in place. By his knowledge the deeps were divided and clouds let drop the dew. My son, preserve sound judgment and discernment. Do not let them out of sight. They will be life for you and ornament to grace and Then you will go on your way in safety and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Have no fear of sudden disaster or of the ruin that overtakes the wicked. For the Lord will be your confidence and He will keep your foot from being snared. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, come back later, I'll give it tomorrow when you now have it with you. Do not plot harm against a neighbor who lives trustfully near you. Do not accuse a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. Do not envy a violent man or choose any of his ways, because the Lord detests perverse men but takes the uprightness to confidence. The Lord curses on house of the wicked, but He blesses the home of the righteous. He mocks proud mockers but gives grace to the humble. The wise inherit honor, but fools He holds up to shame. Listen, my son, to a father's instruction, pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound and you so do not forsake my teaching. When I was a boy in my father's house, children and only child of my mother, He taught me and said, lay hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands and you live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or swerve from them. Do not forsake wisdom and she will protect you. Love her and she will watch over you. Wisdom is supreme, therefore get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Esteem her and she will exalt you. Embrace her and she will honor you. She will set a garland of grace on her head and a present you with a crown of splendor. Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many. I guide you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight path. When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. Do not set foot on the path of the wicked or walk in the way of evil men. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn from it and go on your way. For they cannot sleep till they do evil. They are robbed of slumber till they make someone fall. They eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. The path of the righteous is the first gleam of dawn, ever shining brighter till full light of day. But the way of the wicked is deep darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. My son, pay attention to what I say. Listen closely to my words. Do not let them out of sight. Keep them within your heart. For their life to those who find them and health to man's whole body. Above all else, guard your heart, for it is a wellspring of life. Put away perversity from your mouth. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead and fix your gaze directly before you. Make level paths for your feet and take only ways that are firm. Do not swerve to the right or left. Keep your foot from evil. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen well to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion and your lips may preserve knowledge. For the lips of the adulteress drip honey and her speech is smoother than oil, but in the end she is bitter as gold, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death and her steps lead straight into the grave. She gives no thought to the way of life and her paths are crooked, but she knows it not. Now then, my son, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep too far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your best strength to others and your years to one who is cruel. Lest stranger feast on your wealth and your toil and risk another man's house. At the end of your life, you will groan when your flesh and body are spent. How I hated discipline, how my heart spurned correction. I would not obey my teachers or listen to my instructors. I have come to the brink of utter ruin in the midst of the whole assembly. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your springs overflow in the street, your streams of water in the public square, let them be yours alone, never to be shared with strangers. May your fountain be blessed. May you rejoice in the wife of your youth. A loving door, graceful dear. May her breast satisfy you always. May you ever be captivated by her love. Why be captivated, my son, by the adulteress? Why embrace the bosom of another man's wife? For a man's ways are in the view of the Lord, and He examines all his paths. The evil deeds of a wicked man ensnare him. The cord of his him hold him fast. He will die for lack of discipline, led astray by his own great folly. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have struck hands in place for another, if you have been trapped by what you say and snared by the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, to free yourself, since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands. Go and humble yourself. Pray softly with your neighbor. Allow no sleep to arise, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. Go to the end, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commanders, no overseer ruler. Yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers food at harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard, when will you get up from your sleep? A little to sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a bandit, and scarcity like an armed man. A scoundrel and villain who goes about with corrupt mouth, who winks with his eyes, signals with his feet, motions with his fingers, who plot evil with deceit in his heart, and he always stirs up dissension. Therefore disaster will overtake him in an instant, and his sudden will be destroyed without remedy. There are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him. A haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that set no sin blood, heart that devises wicked scheme, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a man who stirs up dissension among brothers. My son, keep your father's commands and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them upon your heart forever, fasten them around your neck. When you walk, they'll guide you. When you sleep, they'll watch over you. When you awake, they'll speak to you. For these commands are lamp, this teaching is a light, and the corrections of discipline are the way to life, keeping you from the immoral woman, from the wayward wife with the seductive words. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty. Do not let her captivate you with her eyes. For the prostitute reduces you to a loaf of bread, and the adulteress preys upon your very life. Can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burned? Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? So is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. Men do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his hunger. But when he is starving, yet if he is caught, he must pay sevenfold, though it cost him all the wealth of his house. But a man who commits adultery lacks judgment. Whoever does so destroys himself. Blows and disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. For jealousy arouses husband's fury, and he'll show no mercy when he takes revenge. He'll not accept any compensation. He'll refuse the bribe, however great it is. My son, keep my words and store my commands within you. Keep my commands and live. Guard my teaching as the apple of your eye. Bind them upon your fingers, fasten them around your neck. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your kinsman. They will keep you from the adulteress, from the wayward wife with her seductive words. At the window of my house, I looked out through the lattice. I saw among the simple, I noticed among the young men, a youth who lacked judgment. He was going down the street near her corner, walking along in the direction of her house. At twilight, as the day was fading, as the night of night set in, then out came a woman to meet him, and dressed like prostitute with crafty intent. She's loud and defiant. Her feet never stay at home. Now in the street, now in the square, at the corner, she took hold of him and kissed him, and with a brazen face he said, I have a fellowship offering at home. Today I fulfilled my vow. So I came out to meet you. I looked for you and I found you. I covered my bed with colored linens from Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let's drink deep of love till morning. Let's enjoy yourself with love. My husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He took his purse filled with money and will not be home till full moon. With persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. All at once, he followed her like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer stepping to nose, till an arrow pierces his liver, like a bird darting to a snare. Little know will it cost him his life. Now then, my son, listen to me. Do not turn. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her paths. Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain a mighty throne. Her house is highway to the grave, leading down to the embers of death. Does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights along the way where the paths meet, beside the gates leading to the city, at the entrances, she cries aloud. To you, O men, I call out, I raise my voice to all mankind. You are foolish, gain understanding. You are simple, gain prudence. You are foolish, gain understanding. Listen, for I have worthy things to say. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true, for my lips detest wickedness. All the words of my mouth are just. None of them are crooked or perverse. To the discerning, all of them are right. They are faultless to those who have knowledge. Choose my instruction instead of silver, knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing desire can compare with her. I, wisdom, dwell together with prudence. I possess knowledge and discretion. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride, arrogance, evil behavior, and perverse speech, counsel and sound judgment of mine. I have understanding and power. By me kings reign and rulers make laws that are just. By me prince govern and all nobles rule on earth. I love those who love me. Those who seek me find me. With me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and prosperity. My fruit is better than fine gold. What I yield surpasses choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, along the paths of justice, bestowing wealth on those who love me and making their treasuries full. The Lord brought me forth as the first of his work, before his deeds of old. I was appointed from eternity, from the beginning before the world began. I was there when there were no oceans abounding in water. I was given birth. When there were no springs, when there were no oceans, I was given birth. When there were no springs abounding in water. Before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills I was given birth. Before he made the earth or its field or any of the dust of the world. I was there when he set the heavens in place, when he marked out the horizon on the face of the deep, when he established the clouds above and fixed securely the fountains of the deep, when he gave the sea its boundary so the waters would not overstep his command. When he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was the craftsman at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in His presence, rejoicing in His whole world, and delighting in mankind. My son, now then, my son, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instruction, and be wise. Do not ignore it. Blessed is the man who listens to me, watching daily at my door, waiting at my doorway. For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord, but whoever fails to find me, a love death. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has set out her tables. She has sent out her maids, and she calls from the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by. Let all who are simple come in here, she says to those who lack judgment. Come eat my food, drink the wine I have mixed. Live a simple way and you'll live, walk in the way of understanding. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insult. Whoever rebukes a mocker incurs abuse. Do not rebuke a mocker or he will hate you. Rebuke a wise man and he will love you. Instruct a wise man and he will be wiser still. Teach a righteous man and he will add to his learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For through me your days will be many and years will be added to your life. If you're wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you're a mocker, you alone will suffer. The woman folly is loud. She is undisciplined and without knowledge. She sits at the door of her house, on a seat at the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by, who go straight on their way. Stolen water is sweet. Food eaten in secret is delicious. But little do they know that the dead are there, that huggers in the midst of the grave. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son grief to his mother. Ill-gotten treasures are of no value, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. Lazy hands make a man poor, but diligent hands bring wealth. He who gathers crops in summer is a wise son, but he who lives during harvest is a disgraceful son. Blessing crowns the head of the righteous, but violence over him the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous will be blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart accept commands, but a stuttering fool comes to ruin. The man of integrity walks securely, but he who takes cruel part will be found out. He who winks maliciously causes grief, and stuttering fools comes to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but violence over him the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up dissension, but love covers over all wrongs. Wisdom is found the lips of the discerning, but a rod is for the back of him who lacks judgment. A wise man stores up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool invites ruin. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but poverty is the ruin of the poor. The wages of the righteous bring them life, but the income of the wicked brings them punishment. He who heeds discipline shows the way to life, but whoever ignores correction leads others astray. He who conceals his hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. When words are many, sin is not absent, but he who holds his tongue is wise. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver, but the heart of the wicked is of little value. The lips of the righteous nourish many, but fools die for lack of judgment. For lack of judgment. The blessing of the Lord adds length. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and he adds no trouble to it. A fool finds pleasure in evil conduct, but the man of understanding delights in wisdom. What the wicked dreads will overtake him, what the righteous desire will be granted. When the storm has swept by, the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is lhagao to those who send him. The fear of the Lord adds length to life, but the days of the wicked are cut short. The prospect of the righteous is just, but the hope of the wicked come to nothing. The way of the Lord is a refuge for the righteous, but it is the ruin of those who do evil. The righteous will never be uprooted, but the wicked will not remain in the land. The mouth of the righteous bring forth wisdom, but a perverse tongue will be cut out. The lips of the righteous knows what is fitting, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. The Lord abhors dishonest scale, but accurate weights are his delight. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the wicked are destroyed by their duplicity. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless makes a straight way for them, but the wicked are brought down by their own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by evil desires. When a wicked man dies, his hope perishes. All he expects from his power comes to nothing. The righteous is rescued from trouble, but it comes on the wicked instead. With his mouth, the godless destroy his neighbor, but through knowledge, the righteous escape. when the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. When the wicked perish, the shouts of joy. Through the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked it is destroyed. A man who lacks judgment derides his neighbor, but a man of understanding holds his tongue. A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy man keeps a secret. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but many advisers make victory sure. He who put up security for another will surely suffer, but he who refuses to strike hands and place is safe. A kind-hearted woman gains respect, but a cruel man brings trouble on him. Ruthless man gained only wealth. A kind man benefits himself, but a cruel man brings trouble on himself. The wicked man earns deceptive wages, but he who sows righteousness will reap a sure reward. The truly righteous man attains life, but he who pursues evil goes to his death. The Lord does not let the righteous. The Lord detests men of perverse heart, but He delights in men who are truthful, who are blameless. Be sure of this: the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. Desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked comes to nothing. One man gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds duly, but comes to poverty. He who refreshes other, a generous man will prosper. He who refreshes other will himself be refreshed. People curse the man who holds grain, but blessing crowns him who is willing to shell. He who seeks good finds good, but evil comes to him who searches for it. Whoever trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. He who brings trouble on his family will inherit only wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins soul is wise. If the righteous receive their due honor, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? He who loves this will loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. A good man obtains favor from the Lord condemns a crafty man. A man cannot be established through wickedness, but the righteous cannot be uprooted. A wife of noble character is a husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in his bonds. The plans of the righteous is just, but the advice of the wicked is deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the speech of the upright rescues them. Wicked men are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stand firm. A man is praised according to his wisdom, but men what man should despise. Better to be nobody and yet have a servant than pretend to be somebody and have no food. A righteous man cares for the needs of his animal, but the kindnesses of the wicked are cruel. He who walks his land will have abundant food, but he who chases fantasies lacks judgment. The wicked desire the plunder of the evil man, but the root of the righteous flourishes. The evil man, an evil man is struck by his sinful talk, but righteous escapes trouble. From the fruit of his lip, a man is filled with good things, but as surely as the work of his hands rewards him. The way of a fool seems right to him, but a wise man listens to advice. A fool sows his annoyance at once, but a prudent man overlooks an insult. Truthful witness gives honest testimony, but false witness gives honest testimony, but a false witness tells lies. Reckless words precious like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but lying tongue lasts only a moment. There is deceit in the heart of those who plot evil, but joy for those who promote peace. No harm befalls the righteous, but the wicked will have their fill of trouble. The Lord detests lying lips, but He delights in men who are truthful. A prudent man keeps his knowledge to himself, but the heart of fools blots out folly. An anxious heart weighs a man down, but diligent hands will rule, but laziness ends in slave labor. An anxious heart weighs a man down, but a kind word cheers him up. A righteous man is cautious in friendship, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. The lazy man does not roast his game, but the diligent man prizes his position. In the way of righteousness there is life, along that path is immortality. Pathen loupi na chang tahan.